everyone. Welcome to another live stream session at immigrationquestion.com, where we dissect the latest immigration trends and visa categories with experienced attorneys in this field. We're delighted to have you join us in today's series. My name is Anisya Mukherjee, and I will be your host for this session. Our topic today is the EB-1A right for you? A strategic breakdown for researchers, professionals, and creatives. Dives into one of the most ambitious and complex options in the US immigration landscape. The EB-1A offers a fast track path to a green card for individuals with extraordinary ability. But figuring out whether you qualify and how to prove it can be a confusing journey. Whether you're in academia, tech, the arts, or business, this session will give you clarity, strategy, and insider perspective. To help us unpack this, we are joined today by the distinguished attorney Naresh Gehi. With over 20 years of experience in immigration law, he is internationally recognized for his work and has been featured in major news outlets, including CNN, ABC World News, Fox News, the New York Times, and Forbes magazine. He's also the author of the popular book Immigration for Everyone, which helps simplify complex legal matters for immigrants. As a two-time super lawyer or honoree and member of the Federal Litigation Committee of AILA's New York chapter, Attorney Gehi brings a wealth of expertise to this discussion. His groundbreaking work through immigrationquestion.com has revolutionized how immigrants and attorneys connect and manage cases. Welcome to the show again, Attorney Gehi. We're thrilled to have you with us again today.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure being with you, Anu, and a fabulous job as always. So now let's basically kind of shoot. So it means people want answers to their questions. So number one, this is a live session. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to even call the number on the screen, which you'll be getting very soon. Plus, at the same time, you can also, you know, uh, send your question online during the show, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. This is a golden opportunity for you, all of you, to ask your questions. So now, firstly, thank you so much for hosting the show. And I must say that it's been fantastic that lawyers are getting what I like about immigration question now. And of course, as the founder, is what I've seen is that a lot of lawyers are coming over here. They're getting in touch with people, and and people want answers to questions, and some lawyers are answering the questions free. So in a sense, it's a win-win for lawyers as well as for people. And it's an open world. If you like, you join. If you don't like the lawyer, you don't take him with you. If you like the lawyer, go for it. Now let's talk about the EB-1A.
Yeah.
EB-1A, a lot of people know what it is, but it is a very underused category. Now, Anu, you'll ask me why, correct?
Yes, exactly.
The reason, Anu, it's underused is because people are scared of applying for the EB-1A, and they think it's like climbing the Mount Everest, which is absolutely incorrect. It is hard, but it is not as hard as people make it out to be. Number one is, what do you have to show under the EB-1A, and what are the benefits? I have seen some very brilliant computer programmers. I've seen some very bright people who are researchers in universities, and the mistake they have done, they have said, my company has applied for my green card, and under EB2, I'm from India, it's going to take 14 years. I mean, come on, folks. Your company lawyer may not be able to help you with the EB-1A because your consultant is making money. It's time for you to analyze whether you want to get a green card quickly. So the biggest benefit of EB-1A is number one, especially for people from India and for China, and where the category is kind of backed up completely.
Mhm.
First is, you do not need a sponsor, Anu, which means
Okay.
you can self-sponsor yourself for a green card. Means you don't need an employer. Rule number
Mhm.
one. Second thing is, you do not need a labor certification. Amazing. So you don't have to go to the labor market and show
Mhm.
that you don't have enough. US workers working, available for the job. So that is completely out.
Mhm.
Important benefit is the time factor. Even for a country like India, the time factor might be 2 to 3 years for you to get the green card. That's average. But if
Mhm.
from another country, within 2 years you can get a green card, except China and India. So it's a category which is not used properly, is the exact word, by a lot of professionals. Now, the common misconception, Anu, is that people have to climb Mount Everest to get you the EB-1A. The answer is no. As I said, if you're ready to work hard with
Mhm.
an attorney, the magic can happen. Take an example, Anu. I
Mhm.
recently got an EB-1A approval for a
Okay.
person who had two master's degrees from the United States. And the reason he completed his second master's is because he could not find a project. Means, he was benched, and, that's why he wanted to maintain his status.
Mhm.
But for me, that was gold. So I told him, "You have two advanced degrees." I said, "Mr. Gay, you have these few publications." There were hardly four or five of them. But this person was ready to put in the time and effort. He said, "Mr. Gay, on the weekends, I'm free. I can really write fantastic articles, and I can work with you. I can get publications." Then
Mhm.
I asked him, "What are you good at?" He said, "Mr. Gay, I can, become a judge in organizations based upon what I've learned, and I love to
Mhm.
teach." And this person worked hard, and it wasn't that hard. And then guess what? He didn't have a sponsor. He applied for his EB-1A, and his EB-1A was approved. But what it took is important. The
Mhm.
right mindset, that I'm ready to put in 20 hours in a week on an average on a Saturday and a Sunday, and I'm going to work with a good attorney, and I'm going to
Mhm.
do excellent work, and I can become extraordinary. Now, one of the requirements of the EB-1A is that you should have extraordinary ability in the arts, in the sciences, in
Mhm.
business, in athletics, or in education. So let's take an example about science. Science can be computer science. And now in computer science, a lot of these people are coming from MIT.
Mhm.
See, that's another good thing. See, what I spoke about is an Ivy League. So already getting points. You wrote two or three publications. Or writing publications is not hard these days.
Mhm.
And you're a member of organizations, and you love to talk at prestigious organizations.
Mhm.
Hallelujah. You already got four of the 10 ready. And people are ready to commend about the great work which you're doing. Take reference letters. Let a good attorney work with you is the magic. I've done many, many EB-1As, and we've been very successful. But prior results do not guarantee future outcome. And
Mhm.
people ask me, "Mr. Gay, why is it that people have this kind of fear in them that they don't apply?" You know why? I know.
Mhm.
Because it's the lawyer's duty to work with you very closely, in a sense, to give the moral support, make sure that you are right on track,
Mhm.
and then fight for you. Now, a very good question came up from someone who said, "Mr. Gay, what happens when the EB-1A gets denied?" Don't worry about it. Actually, even if it gets denied, they will tell you under how many categories you're missing it. You fix that, you reapply, you can still get approved. So look at the beauty of the EB-1A. Now,
Okay.
another thing I know about the EB-1A, you don't have to be in the US. You may be in Australia, you may be in India, but you're that well-known athlete, you're that well-known cricketer,
Mhm.
you're that well-known actor, you're that well-known Booker Prize winner, Aruna
Mhm.
Roy, brilliant lady, and you're that well-known person that won some prestigious awards, the
Mhm.
President's Medal of Honor, EB-1A. You won the Nobel Prize. EB-1A, but not everybody wins the Nobel Prize. No, but how does a common man think? The common myth is that in order for me to qualify for the EB-1A, you should have won the Nobel Prize. Not necessarily true. Now, I'll tell you the requirements, and I'm going to go through the requirements one after another. So, Anu, let's go through the screen and we'll talk about it so people understand everything. To qualify for the EB-1A, you must be the recipient of a one-time major internationally recognized award. So,
Mhm.
Nobel Prize, Pulitzer Prize, Olympic medal. Now, people just leave it here and they shy away after looking at this. If
Mhm.
you have one of them, you're directly qualified. If you don't have it, nothing to worry. Can we get to the next screen?
So actually, we were trying to do the requirements. So the next question we actually have is, um, now once a person meets that minimum criteria, the next big challenge is framing their story. What are some of the most effective ways you've seen applicants frame their accomplishments to stand out, especially those without
Yes,
globally known awards or media attention?
very good. So we are talking about the same thing here. So evidence of membership in associations in the field that demand outstanding achievement of the members. So they should be joining top membership in prestigious organizations, like top of, not the bottom of the barrel. You have to work with top organizations wherein membership is by admission only. And always good to work with the lawyer, confer with the lawyer, because the lawyer's job is to work with you and see whether it would qualify and whether he can give a legitimate explanation about it.
Okay.
Evidence of lesser nationally or internationally recognized prizes or awards for excellence. This is very good. Lesser nationally, you might have got an award from the city of New York. Hallelujah. Great. That's lesser, but it's well known. So I told you, don't think like a rocket scientist. Or internationally recognized, you went for an event in Singapore, and there was a prestigious event. You won, you represented the United States, and you got an award. Excellent. It can be in computer science too. Your professor sent you, and they give an award, or you went for a speaking engagement. Look at how I turned the table here. That can also be a good one, depending on the subjects. That's where the lawyer works with you.
Mhm.
Published material. Now, people think that they have to write a 300-page thesis to get published. You're wrong.
Mhm.
A good publication can be 3 pages, can be 4 pages.
Mhm.
It can be many top magazines and everything. And people should laud what you have written. So it's not a rocket science that can be managed.
Mhm.
Evidence of participation by the alien as a judge. Take an example. Recently, NYU called me to come in and judge a moot court for them, for the students. NYU is a prestigious university. So I can tell them, hey, listen, I was called as a judge. And in my case, I've been on the Ask the Experts panel of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, which is very prestigious. I've been on the Federal Bar Committee, which is very prestigious. Now, I'm just talking about Kehi getting the green card, which you don't need, but I'm telling you that how you start looking at yourself.
Mhm.
And then I've been in the news. I've been on CNN, I've been on Fox. But even if you have not, you've written very well. You've been a judge of the work of others. You're good. Another thing is evidence of original scientific, scholarly, artistic, athletic, or business related contributions. Contributions can mean many ways. You contribute by building an economy. You had 25 jobs because of you, and you're able to demonstrate. That is a contribution.
Mhm.
You contributed to the betterment of society. You wrote something about AIDS. You wrote something about COVID.
Mhm.
You wrote something about SARS. That is a contribution. That is very important. Evidence of authorship of scholarly articles in trade journals. That is, of course, great. But even if you've
Mhm.
spoken at a panel, prestigious panel, even that counts a lot. Even if you've written a publication with someone else, that can count a lot. Now, even if you've displayed your work in exhibitions, take an example of well known fashion designers. They can also qualify for a green card. See,
Mhm.
they've been international, they are well known. They don't think about these things. And you may be sitting in a foreign nation and you can collect your green card, folks. But working with the right lawyer is critically
Mhm.
important. Now, another way to look at it is you're working in a university right now, doing your PhD. Excellent. But while you are doing your PhD, it's a very good idea for you to work with a lawyer. So, what happens? He can work with you. At the end of the day, the great news for you is that by the time you finish up your PhD, you may get your green card in your hand. Your professor says, go for it. We are working on this brilliant research. Let's work together. So a lot of people who approach me are people who are, working for companies with IT consulting companies. They are working for all these big companies in the IT area, people in the sciences, actors, athletes, researchers. They're in constant touch with us.
Mhm.
Why is a very important thing, I know. The why is always important in life. Because do you want to wait for 20 years to get your green card? Are you going to wait for your employer to sponsor you? Or whether you want to jump into the house from the window and get your green card quickly or wait for the door to open? So, one of my favorite saying is when you cannot get into the house from the door, jump in from the window.
Mhm.
So, if your plan is to settle your family and you early, you should do this. Another thing, you're on an H1B. Your company is about to send you to bench in the next 1 year. Get the I-140 approved. You're coming to a closure of your 6 year cap on your H1B. Work with a good lawyer. The magic may happen. You may be able to get a 7 year extension. So it's all about strategic planning over here. That's what we do at Gehi and Associates. Your questions, Anu?
My next question would be, what's the difference between the E1, E2, and E3?
EB-1A, EB-2, and EB-3.
And E3, yes.
Yeah. So EB-2 is meant for people with a bachelor's degree,
Mhm.
and and those are the most common people who go. EB3 is meant for skilled workers, and
Mhm.
the timeline is different than them. In EB2, except for national interest waiver, you need to have a sponsor. So you need to go through the labor certification process under EB2 and under EB3. So that will be a separate discussion because that'll take a long time for us. But to make a long story short, the issue here is that this is meant for people who are here who are on student visas. This can help people on visitors visas who are brilliant, who've been in the newspapers, who've been in the limelight. Get your green card.
Mhm.
You may be from any country. You don't need a sponsor. You may be a researcher. You may be on an H1B. If you may be on a spouse dependent on an H4 visa, but you are brilliant. And if you're not, you have an advanced degree, you're ready to put in the time and the effort. And within 8 months, if you prepare hard, 8 to 12 months, if you're starting from point zero, you may be able to make it. But working with an attorney, but having that dogged determination, the perseverance, the tenacity, the dedication, like Caesar said, I came, I saw, I conquered, is that is what you are, then you will
Mhm.
succeed because fortune favors the brave. And when the great get going, the going gets great.
Thank you for that, Attorney Gehi. To our amazing audience, thank you for joining us. Uh, Whether you're tuning in from Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, we're honored to have you. We are immigrationquestion.com, a two-in-one platform built with lead and case management to help simplify the immigration process. You can ask your immigration questions for free in any language and get connected to a verified attorney for guidance. You may also receive a free confidential initial consultation. Just visit www.immigrationquestion.com and sign up today. Now, Attorney Gehi, as a platform that connects documented and undocumented immigrants and with trusted law attorneys as yourselves, what are your thoughts on how immigrationquestion.com supports the immigrant community today?
Okay, so I would like to break this down into two parts. For attorneys, how does it help me? Number one is that I get leads, and of course, I don't convert every lead. But even if I convert those one or two leads, I'm happy because it gives me a very, very good fee. And I'm happy that I made it. And I'm paying for the entire year at times when I've done cases. When people said, okay, I got to know you from immigration question. So in a sense, when I add up the math at the end of the year, it's a big profit, unlike when you just use a regular case management platform. The other good thing I like about it, and that is very important as an attorney to me, the case management system is really, really fantastic. So on this is one platform wherein I'm getting leads, plus at the same time, I can book my appointments. I can use the case management features such as case notes. I can look at the mailing features. Then I can make my appointments online. I can, have everything that a case management software should need, like setting appointments, reminders, notifications, audits, case notes, case assignments, case reassignments, and this is unique because some of the software that I tested in the past, of course, I'm a founder, that they did not have those capabilities. So, in a sense, even when I'm getting the lead, it's there. And secondly, since we do a lot of deportations, I like the court calendar. When we have the master calendar hearing, with the individual calendar hearing, you can pull any report of your choice. And above all, it helps me to generate more business. Because here, at the end of the day, when I'm doing my math, I'm in a
Mm.
profit because I made three or four clients, for example. You may or you may not. That's your luck. But if I'm just using a case management software, I am winding up in the negative because at the end of the year, I am paying the immigration case management software company. So that's what I like. And also above all, one other thing which I like is you have a live rep helping people on video, and that helps the communication happen. And of course, we don't allow you to be present because the communication is confidential between the attorney and the client. But it looks that exactly, that that meeting is brought about. So what immigrationquestion.com is doing, it's also serving as a meeting ground. Now that was the whole mantra why I founded Immigration Question, so that it should be a win not only for me but for every lawyer, because lawyers from other states, they love this, and even from New York, because I can only do this much, and everyone should get business. That's the mantra behind it. Thank you so much for asking me.
Thank
Now, for
you.
clients, we'll visit that after your next question, and how clients can benefit. I'd like to talk about that too.
Okay. We were actually going to open the floor for the questions that the audience has. So if you'd like to answer the client management part, you can go ahead.
All right. For clients, I think you have plans wherein you can now post your question free. You can use
Mhm.
the app. And above all, you can pick an attorney of your choice. Nobody is telling you whom to pick. You pick a lawyer of your choice. And other than that, there are lawyers based upon their discretion, they can offer you a free consultation. Now, that's something that B2C people should take advantage of. Now, this is important because when you generally call a law firm, the first thing they'll tell you, oh, to talk to the lawyer, you're going to pay $500. You can save that money by getting in touch with Immigration Question, because there are lawyers on this portal, and based upon the lawyer's discretion, they may offer you a free consultation. Like at Gehi and Associates, we offer that. But the good news is there are many other lawyers who, give you that free consultation. Go for it, and guess what? You saved your $500 right there, and which some other attorney may have quoted you. So that's what I like. And
Thank you.
it's very easy to use, and it's
Mhm.
fantastic for me. Yes.
To our audience, the floor is now open. Drop your questions in the chat and we'll answer as many as possible. If you'd like to call us live and ask directly, dial 516-703-3483.
So I know I love live questions, and I'm live 516-703-3483. Let's see who is my first hero who wants to come and ask me a question. Come on. It's live, folks. Let the game begin. Let's begin with the question and answers. All right. I want to know if I need a job offer to apply for EB-1A. Absolutely no. If you have one, fantastic. If not, you do not need a job sponsor. Done.
Next
Next question.
question. If my business
Right.
has
If the
received
business has,
awards, can I
of course,
go ahead?
that what you can do, you can show that you're an entrepreneur and you're so big that you made the magic happen. It's showing that you are extraordinary. And if your magic in your business is extraordinary, why not? Because under EB-1A, you should be someone who's good in business, science, arts, education, or athletics. So business is covered, you're good to go. You can
So
be
can I?
outside the United States and you can
Mhm.
still qualify for a green card. So isn't that fantastic? You're coming on a green card to America. Excellent. If you're Grace, this is excellent. If you're paintings and art galleries, exhibitions, why not? And if you have some articles written about you in many different places, and plus if you've spoken about the art, welcome to the club. Join the EB-1A club and work with a good attorney. You may have a chance. If you don't meet the 3 out of 10, work with an attorney who can assist you to see your resume and see whether there's a way for you to improve on your skills. And through that, you may be able to qualify and take your game to the next level.
So last but not least,
Yep. What's the question, please?
my research has been cited, but I haven't received any formal recognition. Can I still use it to prove sustained acclaim for EB1?
There may be a way, but we need to see how far you went in your research, how close you are, and if you even work with good publications, get that published, and you may be able to jump in from the window. Remember what I said. If you cannot jump in from the door, jump in from the window, work with an attorney that of your choice. And I think immigration question is the way to go. Choose a lawyer, find someone that you like, and get going. And as I said, it's not that hard because when the great get going, the going gets great. And remember, fortune favors the brave. This is attorney Naresh Gehi from Gehi and Associates, and I can be reached at 718-263-5999, and my website is www.gehilaw.com, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. The instant program and the information provided is general in nature and it does not apply to any specific facts or circumstances. Neither the firm of Gay and Associates or immigrationquestion.com is responsible for any of the answers unless and until you meet with an attorney of your choice and enter into a retainer agreement. Thank you so much, folks. I'll be back again, and a big thank you to Anusia Mukherjee, the entire team at the back that is doing a fabulous job. Cannot miss out the wonderful people who work on the back to make this happen. They are the unsung heroes. Support us by doing one thing: spread the message of immigration question and download the app. It's free. Spread the message. It's free because if you have downloaded the app, do you know there are millions of other people that you may be able to help by just giving a simple tip? Just download the app because sometimes people may not have the money to even go for a free consultation. Let them download the app, let them register, and that's how we all can help each other. We have a great audience, and thank you so much to all of you for the overwhelming response for the show. Spread the message, like the show, share this with your friends, and one other secret. The show is held twice a week now on Wednesdays and Fridays, 2:30 p.m. EST. Lock it in so that you don't miss it. And you can also recommend a topic of your choice. And I think, immigrationquestion.com will try the best to find an attorney who can match your topic, and that's how you can participate. Thank you all. And it's time for me to leave. Anu, thank you. And you may continue. And it's a great pleasure being on the show. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Attorney Gehi. Don't forget you can rewatch this session or listen to the previous episodes on Spotify. Just search for Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com. Thank you, everyone.